Welcome back to Inside the Pride. I'm now joined by the head coach, Dan Campbell. Coach, coming off a bye week, we know one adjustment that will for sure be made is how your team practices. It'll look a little more like training camp. Intensity will elevate and more 1-versus-1 drills. Why did you decide that that was the best way to practice moving forward?
Yeah, look, I feel like we got away from that a little bit, and I felt like we were really at a good place towards the end of camp. And for areas that we're not as good at, we have to make up for it in those areas, man. The way that we play, our intensity, the way we hit, everything. And so I just feel like, and then just to get the competitiveness again, you still got to have it during the week. We have to have good on good and some one-on-one work. I think it'll help us out.
Moving to these Dallas Cowboys. On the offensive end, you've got a 1-2 punch in that run game. Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott, though, helping forge a comeback almost Sunday night against Philly. 81 yards, a touchdown. What in his ability makes him such an impactful player?
Yeah, look, this guy he's a heavy runner, and he gets better the more carries that you give him. I mean, here's a pretty good look at him right here. And they do a lot of this. It's almost like a hand-back jab scheme. It's downhill. They bring the receiver back on this corner. But, man, if you let him get into the defense here on the second level, he's a heavy runner. He's powerful. He's explosive. And this is tough. People don't really want to tackle him. You can say you want to tackle him, and he really does get better with the more carries that he gets.
On the defensive end, Dallas Cowboys defense playing at a very high level, leads the league in sacks with 24. Micah Parsons, linebacker, has 25% of those sacks. How do you limit him from getting to your quarterback, Jared Goff, Sunday?
Yeah, well, first of all, you got to like your matchups at the tackle position, which we do, man. I like Penei Sewell, and I like Decker. And, they'll move this guy a little bit. I do feel like he's going to be more on our right, so I think that Sewell will see a little bit more of him than Deck. But I like that. But even with that, man, we got to have an answer for this guy. And I think you got to disrupt him early. So we'll have, I think we'll have some nudges, some bumps. We'll chip him with the back a little bit. But here's what, we can't let him feel like this is the day he's going to have, because this is when he really excels. He's got a quick first step. He's long, explosive. He's probably one of the most elite athletes in our league, which is saying something. So we have to have an answer for him, and he can't feel like this is just going to be, let me tee it up and pass rush all day like one-on-ones. That would not be good for us.
Mm-hmm. You've got Parsons up front. Then you got Trayvon Diggs in the secondary. He can make plays on the ball, 2 interceptions so far. How do you make sure he doesn't give your pass game chaos Sunday?
Yeah, listen, he's a good player, and I think one of the best things here, you see him down here on the bottom of the screen, is for him, man, you got to give him multiple looks, multiple routes off of the same stem. You have to, because he's very good at matching routes, seeing them. He's got length. He can put his foot in the ground. And so, man, you got to give him the same stem and run 3 different routes off of it just to kind of keep him on his heels. This is a hell of a play. This is the end of halftime here. But you see, they do a pretty good job. They're running after him, and then it almost looks like he's going to bow out. They run the go route, and he tracks the ball. And really what makes good corners is not only your ability to cover, but the ability to track the ball down the field. That's what really separates very good corners. So he's one of them. He's a hell of a player.